And real estate investing is a very complex process, guys. So I'm going to break it down into how it's like riding a bicycle and how it's investing just like a bicycle. So let me go to the anatomy of a bicycle and kind of break that down, okay? So on a bicycle, you usually have the front wheel and the back wheel, okay? And then you have basically some pedals here that you pedal, right? And one of the first things about investing in how it's like a bicycle is that you got to notice that you have two wheels. You have the front wheel and you have the back wheel. And what that symbolizes in this business, in real estate investing, is that the front wheel represents the seller, okay? So what that means is that you have to go out there, market, and find motivated sellers. Well, that's only part of the success. It's like climbing halfway up the mountain. You still got to come back down, and coming back down represents the rear wheel in this business. So the rear wheel means by finding buyers. Okay. So to look over this again, you need two wheels. You need to find motivated sellers, and when you find these motivated sellers, you're going to put the deal on their contract. And now your job is to find motivated buyers, or buyers that want to buy these properties you have under contract. If you have a flat, or if you don't have one wheel, it's going to be impossible to move forward in this bicycle, okay? And it's, like I said, you might have to get out and walk. And walking in this scenario represents getting the job. Where a bicycle, you're able to travel further, but you need more things besides your foot, okay? So you need two wheels. But again, that's not it. So the business itself, the business represents the bicycle. You're able to be very successful and go a lot farther than a job or walking. However, the bicycle itself is not going to get you any further, okay? You need that human. You need you to be able to be on this bicycle, right, and pedal as hard as possible, okay, forward. So a lot of students I deal with and I mentor, I see them taking classes or they take seminars and they spend 10 grand or 20 grand or 25 grand or 2,500 or whatever the story may be, and they learn this bicycle, the front wheel, the back wheel, how it's structured, how they got to pedal it. However, they don't learn that it's them that needs to make this bicycle move forward, because anybody knows that the bicycle is going to travel at a farther distance than walking. However, riding a bicycle is a lot harder if you've never done it before than walking, okay? Does that make sense? And getting the bicycle costs more money than walking, because you have to go buy this product, and this product costs more money because there's a manufacturer that makes rubber, that makes the chains, that makes the frame, they paint it, so there's more involved into it, okay? So it doesn't mean it's impossible to own a bike. It's very affordable. You go all the way from Walmart that costs like $50 all the way to Schwinn or Track that costs $2,000, $5,000. So there's everything in the middle, okay? But it's definitely possible to own a bicycle. And with me, I am giving you the bicycle. I'm giving you all the loose ends, and all you have to do is get on this bicycle and pedal as fast as possible, and I'm doing it for free. So you just got to pedal hard, guys, and your success depends on not the bicycle, not the ideas that I give you, or not the classes you may take that cost thousands of dollars, but it depends on you and how hard you're willing to pedal, okay, guys? Now, let me go back into the bicycle and the wheels, because it's so important, okay? In each one of these wheels, for example, the seller, there's going to be many smaller wheels. And these little wheels in the seller quadrant represents different skills or labor or materials or resources that you're going to need to make this wheel move forward. Let me break it down for you guys, okay? So one of these could be, for example, sales. The next one could be negotiation. The next one could be marketing. The next one could be taxes. The next one could be setting up systems. The next one could be follow-up. So in each wheel, there's a lot of little sub wheels that need to be functioning to make the bigger wheel move forward. Just like a tank, guys, okay? So in a tank, if you notice, it could go through a lot of different hard surfaces than a car because there's a lot of small wheels pushing a bigger wheel, okay? So in your bicycle investment, each wheel, the front or the back, is going to have many sub wheels, and each one of these sub wheels is going to represent a characteristic or skills that you need to go learn or obtain through outside education, through internal changes, because you have to change to become a different person, to trial and error. So I want you to understand this because it's a very complex process. For example, if you want to go find a seller, you need to have sales skills, you need to have negotiation skills, you need to have marketing skills, you need to have follow-up skills, you need to have to file taxes. You know, there's so many different things involved in it, okay? And then once you find a deal, the same thing is going to happen with the buyers. The same exact things going to be in this one. Besides, some of them are going to be a little different because you're going to have different marketing strategies. You're going to have different phone scripts. You're going to have different way you process the leads and qualify the buyers. Okay, so as you can see, is that it is a hard business to be in, but it doesn't mean it's not doable, because I've broken it down step by step, and I'm going to spoon feed you, and I'm going to hold your hand till you guys score the goal. And the reason I'm bringing it up to your attention is it's hard because I don't want you to invest your time if you don't understand this concept, because it is very hard. Each one of these circles represents a skill that you have to go get through your cash or through your time or through sacrification of things that you love to do but you can't do because you have to obtain your why you're watching me and why you're learning about the real estate investment and how it is like a bicycle, okay? So I really want people to understand these two circles because it's very important, okay? Now, I would say 70% of all my students fail at this part because they do a great job finding the deals, which means they climb up the mountain and then they want to put it in coast. They want to just relax and thinking the deal's just going to hatch by itself. And that's where 70% of people fail, because the deal never hatches, guys. Okay? This wheel is as important as this wheel. You know, once again, they're both equally important. If one of them was a flat or one was not there, this bicycle would be useless. I don't care how many sellers you have, okay, guys? So when you get the deal, 70% of the times it's not going to come through, especially if you're a new student, because you're relaxing. You're not going out there and working tremendously hard to harvest this lead that you got and sell this product to a buyer, okay, if it's an investor or if it's a retail buyer, okay? And so make sure you listen and you don't do the same mistakes, okay? Now, let's talk about the frame of this bicycle, all right? And the frame of this bicycle represents the education. It represents the way you can structure the deals. It represents the interconnection between wheel number 1 and wheel number 2. See how it connects it? And it represents the harmony, because if something is wrong here and the frame breaks, I don't care if you have wheels. You're not going to go nowhere. You're going to have 2 broken pieces, okay? So everything in here is very, very important, guys, okay? And so the frame represents a lot of different things, from structuring a deal to getting the education. But one of the most important things in this picture, besides the 2 wheels, besides the frame, is you, okay? You are the key factor, guys. There's too many people that I know have so many advantages and they're not taking the opportunity of that. And I know people that have high school educations and they have became millionaires. And I know that it's all possible in America. And the main cofactor is that person, okay? It's not the external, it's not anything else, it's them, okay? So that is why if I was going to bet on anything, it's you. You have to be the one that's going to make this bike go forward, okay? And what you want to do when you're on this bicycle is you want to look forward to your goals, okay? You don't want to look down on the ground, because if you do look down on the ground, you're going to land on the ground. And what does down on the ground mean? You're looking at all the reasons why it's not going to happen. Oh, I don't have money, I don't have credit, or I don't have enough leads, or the sellers are telling me no, or I'm calling on Craigslist and there's too many investors, or I just don't know, people are telling me no, or there's so many excuses that you may have or tell yourself or that I hear. So if you're looking down for all the reasons why it's not working, you're not going to go anywhere because the bike's going to flop down, okay? That's what I learned one-on-one on motorcycle classes, that you need to look where you want to go to. And it made a whole lot of sense to me because in life, I've always looked at my goals and where I want to go to, and I didn't really focus on that, hey, I didn't have education. Hey, I'm an immigrant here. Hey, I didn't have no credit. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any infrastructure. I didn't have any networking. I didn't have any support. I didn't think about that. I think about, hey, I'm in America, I live in a great country, I'm going to focus on my goals, I'm going to work every day, I'm going to sacrifice every day, and I want to keep looking forward and forget about everything else, and, the rest is history, guys. And so that's what I'm going to try to tell you. It doesn't matter if you're driving a bicycle from Walmart, which, when I started, I was a Walmart bicycle because, I was an immigrant here, I didn't speak the language, nothing, but it didn't matter. Or you could be driving a $2,500 Schwinn or track bicycle, or you could have a Walmart bicycle without a helmet and just some street clothes, or you could be having a $2,500 bike with $1,000 worth of gear. It does not matter if you have the good bike or the best gear. What it matters is if you have the heart and the willing, burning desire to focus on straight ahead on where you want to go in life, okay? And then you are on this bike and you just got to pedal, okay? You got to pedal to the metal, as they say, and never quit, okay? And never quit. And I keep saying that, you can't never quit because, man, there's going to be bumps on the road. If you have a shittier bike, like one from Walmart, it's going to be heavier. The system is not great, the gears are not that great, but hey, that's the car life has given you, and you have to take that and run with it. You can't look down and say, oh, my bike is heavy, the gears are not good. You got to look at forward and say, thank God I'm here. Thank God I have these goals. I know I'm going to make this happen. And that's what you need to focus on is your goals. And that's why I keep saying real estate investment is like riding a bike, because tremendously, you got to, from the wheels to the structure to you to where you need to be looking to, okay? And hey, it is dangerous because you're not on four wheels, okay? If you look down, if you have some of these holes are missing, this wheel may not be functioning correctly or 100%. So you're not harvesting as much as you should. You're putting more money or more time or more marketing and not getting a better return of your investment. And that happens, and that's why you have to check yourself before you wreck yourself in a way, and evaluate all the way through the process and keep changing so you can inflate these little tires so this wheel is running at maximum performance, okay? As this wheel. Because if one is running at maximum performance and the other one's not, you're not making as much cash as possible. If you have 10 houses but you only have 2 buyers, see, the other deals are not going to go through, okay? Now, another point I wanted to bring up to you is that, sometimes my mentoring students get so focused on this wheel, finding deals, that when they find these deals, they can't move these deals, A, because they are tired and they think the deal's going to hatch by themselves, B, they're not putting enough energy into it, or C, that they have to learn so many different skills for this wheel, they're just like, hey, you know what, I'd rather just outsource that out. And you could definitely do that. That's called co-op marketing, okay? And you can definitely co-op market. And what that means is there's other investors that might have a buyer and they're willing to be part of your wheel to get to your next destination for a short time or for this transaction, and you're willing to share that. But if you co-op market, just understand that you're going to have to split your profits. Most co-op marketers that I know want 50%. So, for example, if the deal you're making $5,000, they want $2,500. Okay, and is there anything wrong with that? No, absolutely not. But I always like to train my mentors to go and create your own wheels, create your own system, so you're independent. Sometimes we need co-op marketing, sometimes we need other people to help us move our units, but that's great. But let's go ahead and try to move the unit yourself, because if you could do it yourself, why not keep the 5? So there's a lot of different ways you could do it. I'm going to show you how to do it so you're able to keep the 5. But the only thing you got to do is make sure you get on this bicycle and pedal, man. Because if you're not willing to pedal, you got to give some of your money up to a co-op market. Alright, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is that this human being can only pedal for such a long time. For example, if you're mentally fatigued, if you're mentally drained, if you don't put the right food into your body, if you don't work out, see, you cannot pedal as somebody that does work out, somebody that eats organic food, somebody that is meditating, somebody that is taking yoga, okay, somebody that's relieving their stress. Because, you know, the person that's not doing that kind of stuff, not taking care of themselves, could maybe pedal 5 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours. Where the other guy that is as hungry as this person that did it for 5 hours or 8 hours, and he's working out and he's eating better and he's exercising, he might be pedaling 18 hours a day. So what I'm trying to say is that this symbolizes you tremendously in the real estate investment world, because it's not about the knowledge and the systems. It's not about how you structure a deal. And a lot has to do with you, not only mentally but physically. And not only do you have to put these deals together and look forward to your goal, but more importantly, you have to take care of yourself, so you have the energy and the motivation to get on this bike and truck it and pedal it, because there's a lot of people at the lower level that are trying to pedal with you. So you got to be stronger. You got to have more motivation. You got to have more drive to keep pedaling, because whenever they're sleeping, you're pedaling, guys, okay? Whenever they're on their holidays, you're pedaling. When they're on their vacations, you're pedaling, okay? And where's all this pedaling come from? Because it's not a machine. It's not a gas. You know, it's coming from you. So you got to have that energy. You got to have that to be able to pedal. So make sure you take care of yourself, because you can't pedal, you can't reach your dreams and look forward unless you have within you. And you got to feed yourself, and you got to eat right, and you got to rest to be able to get on this bike and pedal. Okay? This is Michael, Mr. Investor, Real Estate Dojo. Thanks for watching.